color do you mostly see? Okay, so all over this meadow there's all this green, and all of this green is all... Well, is it birds? No. Is it insects? Oh, no. It's plants. Easy. See, there's an easy question. Everybody knows it's plants. They're green to make food because plants are green food factories. Their leaves spread out in the sun and they take in energy from the sun, they take in air from around them, they take in water through their roots and nutrients, and they make their own food in their leaves. So all these plants are busy making food for themselves right now. But we're very lucky because when they do that, they make something else. And this is the thing that kids always seem to know no matter what age, which just baffles me. I guess it's drilled into them from early on. You say, what else do plants make? And they all say, air, oxygen. So I point out, yes, these plants are all busy making oxygen too. They're not making it for us. It's just sort of accidentally happening while they're making food. But we're very lucky because if they weren't doing it, what would happen to us? We would not have any air to breathe. The amazing thing is, when we breathe out, all of that breath is exactly what the plants need so they can grow. So aren't we lucky? The plants are making something we need, and we're making something they need. All right. So how many different types of leaves do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, look around again. Can you find any leaves that are different from these? If you can find a leaf that is different from these. Now this is getting trickier, but take a minute and look really closely. Oh, yeah, but look, you got the leaf that goes with this. Okay. Oh, look at that. You got a different one here. Look at. Hold on this one. Look at these long strings that stuck out. What do those long strings look like? Yeah, that's the one that goes with the daisy. Yeah. It is the same. Okay. That's pretty amazing, because when you just look out, you just see a lot of green with a few little white flowers. But when you look really closely, you see lots of different plants. Oh, look, you found another one. Oh my gosh. Now this can be a very long search or a very short search. But basically, I do this. It tunes the kids into the fact that there are a lot of different things growing right here, even though it just looks like one thing. And I'm just going to write. Hello. And what else should I write to help remember what we saw here? Maybe I ask the kids. What do you think we should write? They might say green food factory. Gives air. Might say gives air. Exactly. They might say various things, and I would write whatever it is that they want to write at this point. Gives air. Now the amazing thing about these plants is that they're here making air and they're making food for themselves. The amazing thing is that they're also making food for every other thing that lives on this planet. And I'd ask the kids to stay back there. Now that doesn't get everybody's attention, right? Ooh, what is it? We have a guess? Usually they say, allergy! Is it allergy? No, this is algae. And look what color it is. Can you see? Yeah, so this is like right? So this is busy making food, just like all the other plants around it. Okay? So let's just stand here at the pond for a minute, and I want you to look around and notice many different plants and animals as you can. And notice might mean you see them, it might mean you hear them. Who do you think might eat a water bug? Maybe a frog, or maybe a fish. We're not sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we've got left here. Anybody who you think might eat a frog?
An alligator.
Oh my goodness. Well, look what we've got here. If we just take this here, let's see. So we'll say that maybe the water bug was eating some of the lily pad, the frog ate the water bug, and the heron ate the frog. We just made a food chain. Okay, so a food chain is a set of plants and animals that are linked, that are joined by eating, because everybody eats something else. So we've got a little food chain here, so I might take my food chain now.
Okay, let's go this way.
And we'll stick it in here. And here we've got our pond food chain. Oh, you know what? There's something missing from the beginning of my food chain. What could that be? What did the lily pad eat?
Sunlight?
It ate the sunlight, exactly. It got its energy from the sun. So we just made a very simple food chain by thinking of all the different things that might live here. On habitats, you could start just recording every bit that you notice that's evidence of animals and plants together. We ended up with lots of sentences, and they were things like nest in a tree, and we maybe collected a leaf that had fallen from the tree. And then we'd have hummingbird at a flower. We'd write that down. And sometimes you didn't see the animal. Sometimes it was evidence that you saw on the ground around you. Like this. Wow. Something happened here, right? So, in this case, we might keep this and we'd say decomposers eating a leaf. And decomposers is the next idea that we'll talk about in the forest. But that is another way you can organize it. If the kids seem to be more animal focused, you can still talk about habitats for sure, but what you end up putting in your folder might be more of that sort of. There's all kinds of little tiny things hopping. Look at this. What I found there. You see what that is? It's a snail. It's a tiny little snail. It's a little baby snail. So they're tiny things that are hopping. Oh, there's somebody else. And I'm not too freaked out by these guys, so I don't mind picking them up. You don't have to, but your kids will look. That's not a snail. We'll see what that does in a minute. I might need to get in my hand to be happy. What else is around? Now, the only things I don't try to pick up are spiders and centipedes. They can sting. There's one little friend who I'm not finding here who I hoped I would find. You see all these little things that are hopping around? These are little isopods. They're actually related to shrimp. Oh! Springtails, that's another name for them, yep. Ew, stuck to me. Let's see if anybody else wants. Well, that's a good start. I'm going to cover it all back up because I've just stepped into their hole.
Can we tape it to the folder?
Can we tape it to the folder? What do you think? No. Oh, where did my other little guy go? So here we have, what's the difference between a snail and a slug?
Slugs are gross.
Slugs are gross. Snails are cute and slugs are gross. Now basically the difference is just the shell. So this has no shell, but they're very similar animals. And so we might watch and see if they do anything. We might let them go right away. I did have on here a minute ago, I had a little millipede, which was coiled up, and if I put it in my hand, it would have warmed up and uncoiled. So I'm going to look for one in a minute. So we might just see what kind of creatures are here. Are we going to stick them in? No, 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 no! But these are what's busy helping break down all these plants. So these are what we call decomposers. Look, you're not going to get closer. All right. 3, 2, 1. Whoa!
Put it back, put it back, put it back.
Whoa, put it back, put it back, put it back. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of those little springtails or isopods of various kinds. I saw a roly-poly go running off that. Oh, there's a roly-poly. Or, well, roly-poly not being a technical term. Roly-poly usually refers to the ones who roll up. This one's not rolling up. So there's two different kinds of critters out here. The ones that roll up, pillbugs, and then there are these who don't. And there are many names. Pillbug, sowbug, roly-poly, potato bug. What did somebody tell me? Woodlouse. I had a little 4-year-old English child tell me recently, I've got a woodlouse. so now, look, all the action is pretty much stopped. And why is that? Yeah, they don't like the light. And a all that air. So we're just going to very carefully put it back. Bye, guys. And we're not going to mess them again. Now, with rolling logs, it can be so exciting that kids want to roll every single log that's there. They left the stump here. And what's great is you can see how it's breaking down, it's decomposing, and the inside is turning into soils that you can actually grow plants in. If you want the kids to see what decomposing wood is like, just literally break off a little chunk, and here's decomposing wood, and they can all feel how soft and crumbly it is, and how it's turning into something that's like soil. I just pinched off a piece of the wood that's broken out on the inside, and it's pretty clear that it's turning into something that, yeah, imagine that.
Almost there.
It's almost there, exactly. So if you find some old wood that's breaking down, as in that stump, or sometimes even on a log, you can just get a piece off and crumble it in your fingers, give that sense of how it's turning to soil. We might pop in a ghost leaf, and to remember what we saw, I might have one of the kids do a drawing. I mean, if somebody says, oh, I can do a drawing, I might let them do it. Or we might do something as simple as, what were the shapes we saw? One was a spiral, and one was sort of a glob. Do we want to write new words? They don't have to do elaborate drawings. It's just something that they can remember what they saw. So you might put the word snail. I don't remember how to make an A. That's good. And my S's are getting a little different here. Slug. So that would be, right there would be a pretty typical folder for a Web of Life walk. Now, the thing I didn't do, that once again, I probably would do if I were doing this based on habitat, I probably would have first taken the time, and this we're going to have to put somewhere, right? Oh my goodness, this is our treasure here. And this was from the, somebody tell Bailey what we saw. Crow nest.
It was a reject.
Oh,
Yeah, this fell. There were crows that were building a nest, and the ground was just littered with pieces because they're kind of messy nest builders. So there was just stuff all over the ground. So we kept that. But just as at the pond, I might ask the kids to really take in the
hummingbird.
Oh yeah, right there. I'd ask the kids to take in the difference in the habitat.